Go right into questions. Coach Jeff, you want to start us off?
So 2 minutes into the second quarter, you're down 14-0. The offense has one first down. From there, you outscored 24-0. What flipped?
We talk about how we plan to win, and it starts with a fast start. Obviously, we didn't do that on either side of the ball, but we talk about winning the middle eight, and that's the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. And they were able to, compartmentalize and focus on what was ahead of them. Took advantage of the opportunity. We were able to score, a couple points there and cut it to, I think 14-6, right? And then we knew that they were going to get the ball, that we needed to create some momentum in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. Just super proud of the guys overall because they accepted the challenge. We knew that BC was going to come in here and they were going to try and start fast, and they did. And we allowed some of it with just some uncharacteristic mistakes, but they found a way to persevere through it. They didn't get down. They didn't start pointing fingers. They all looked at themselves in the mirror and said, "Hey, we're going to figure out what it takes." And just super proud that for the last 43 minutes they were able to keep them out of the end zone.
Microphone here, Preston, and then Greg.
Yeah, I guess you got two big touchdowns there from Malachi Fields, Jonas Saker, back-to-back, both Charlottesville kids.
Yeah.
How special is a moment like that, especially in a comeback win like this?
Man, you got homecoming, right? So they're local. So I know they probably had a bunch of friends and family in the stands. Man, the '89 team's back in town, and it's just so happy for those guys. And they've been leading the way, So it's not something that we don't expect out of them. We expect Malachi to go make plays. We expect Jonas to make plays. And but Ben Smiley was there to help create the turnover, right? And so just super proud of all those guys for believing in themselves. Right, it's a football team that many people on the outside, kind of wrote off at the beginning of the season. And I told these guys, man, we ain't worried about that. We want to prove ourselves right. And these guys believe that they had what it takes to be 2-0 and 4-1 in the league, and just super proud. But nothing out of the ordinary when you're talking about Malachi and Jonas. Man, they've been making plays all year for us.
The touchdown from Calandria to Malachi. Did you guys feel like it was a good time for a shot after the turnover and the big run from Pace? And then did you steal a little slow mesh from Wake Forest?
No slow mesh. We didn't steal any slow mesh from Wake Forest, man. That I don't understand that, so I don't know how to coach that up. But just wanted to be aggressive. We talked about all bye week. We started with recovery. We wanted to recover because we were banged up, and then after we recovered, we wanted to recalibrate, reload, and then we wanted to attack out the gate. And obviously we didn't right out the gate, but they found it and they were able to keep attacking. And so we wanted to be aggressive, see could we capitalize, off of the turnover and generate some momentum. Didn't know it was going to happen, that quickly, but two guys hooked up, made a play, and that's what they're capable of at any time.
Kind of following the Malachi Fields their theme, but with him having that trickeration, being back to his quarterback days, how good is having an athlete like that you can kind of turn the tide a little bit?
Hey man, we need every kind of play that we can have in our repertoire to go win games in the ACC. Man, this is a great league, a very competitive league, and I think we're seeing that. Just there's a lot of parity, and so you need everything that you possibly can. And so anytime you can have those type of plays, now you can't make a living. Right, you got to run your base offense, base defense to be able to win. But anytime you can strategically find a look, and to be honest with you, when it was called, I was like, oh, this might not be a great look, right? Because they were in man coverage to begin with, right? And we were like, so I was close to calling a timeout. But then when I saw the DB work back, I knew that we had enough protection to get the ball to Malachi for him to get it off.
We talked this week about Kobe was going to have to get some of the dirty runs.
Mm-hmm.
He did that and more today.
He did.
About his game.
Man, just super proud of him because that's who he wants to be, and I think that's who he is. And it took us a little while. Super proud of the guys up front, right? Because we tried to commit to the run game in the first half, and it wasn't producing a ton of success. But we knew that to beat BC, you're gonna have to churn up some clock. Man, that quarterback and that offense on the other sideline is very dangerous. So we needed to be able to run the football to try and control the game. And Kobe got the hot hand, and X had a couple of X type of plays. But he sparked us with a couple of runs. But that's what, and it was good to see Kobe get a couple of explosives too. He hit some of the dirty push to pile type of runs, and that's what we need, right? because I know it may not be the sexiest thing to have a 4-yard gain, right? But that's a big thing for offensive play calling, man. When you're 2nd and 6, it's a whole lot better than 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 9, right? And you're 2nd and 3 because you got a 7-yard gain when you hand it off. That helps Dez be able to call an aggressive game. But just super proud of Kobe.
Let's go with Jeff and then Mike in the back.
Late in the second quarter, BC got across the 35-yard line. They have a chance to go up 21-3 or 17-3. You end up forcing a punt. Then you drive basically all through the field to get that field goal. You feel that was like a pivotal sequence there?
Yeah, I think anytime that they do put themselves in scoring range and they don't come up with points, and you can force them to give the ball back to the offense, and a lot of times in that situation, what you're anticipating is that, if you stop them from scoring, right, and they punt, you're probably going to be backed up. So now you're just trying to get 2 first downs and flip the field so the defense can play complementary football, get a stop, get you the ball back. That's what you're thinking in those situations. But, be able to, we started, and then we had another drive. We started on the -17 and went all the way down to the 2, right? So when you can do that, like you're beating the odds right there, and that creates momentum for our guys. And then the confidence, starts to build. And I kind of saw it, late in the second quarter, just watching body language, right? I started to see kind of the body language shift. Their body language kind of slowed down a little bit. Ours picked up, a little bit, and we were able to, to keep that momentum even through halftime.
Tony, big picture, you won 3 games a year your first 2 years. I know one was a short year. You're already at 4. What does that say about kind of where you've gotten to with this program?
I don't know yet. Like I'm trying to get to the end to really. But what I think it shows is that the guys in the locker room are buying into what we're trying to build as a program, and they're learning how to win close games. They're learning how to win 4-quarter games, and so I believe it just shows that the foundation that we laid in those first 2 years is starting to produce some results. But we're far from where we want to be. There's still things that we got to get better at. But you got a locker room and a staff, that believes in each other, and they're willing to go to work every single day because they believe in what we're trying to build, and which is the model program. And we believe that Virginia, at the University of Virginia, man, the standard should be high in everything that we do, on and off the field.
Greg, what's your
Castellanos, there was a lot of room for him to throw
Yeah.
in those first 2 quarters,
Yeah.
his first 11.
Yeah.
What did you see in the back end that was maybe off?
Yeah, I felt like we were playing, I wouldn't say timid, but we were giving a little bit too much cushion. And again, we're built to keep everything in front, right? We're not a heavy man team, bump and run team. So we kind of make you earn it. And so early on, some of the easy access throws, some of the things that we give up so that we don't give up the big play. And then hopefully the next down, it's a run and we can stop the run and get you in the 3rd down, in medium to 3rd down and long situation. So I think he was taking some of the gifts that were out there, which is a part of our philosophy. But then later in the game, I thought we did a better job of limiting some of those and then forcing him to try to drive the ball down the field from the pocket.
Let's go Greg and Frank.
For two guys off the bench or in starter roles for first time, Anthony Britton and Andre Green.
Yeah.
Came up with big plays. Britton had the tip pass on the interception, and Green the 2-point conversion.
Big
What did
plays.
you see from those guys?
Man, just super proud of those guys for stepping up. And again, that's a culture that we're trying to build. It's next man up, right? The standard is the standard. It doesn't matter who's in there. And our job as coaches is to help young men develop, and their job is to buy in, to pour in, right, and push themselves to be in a position that when the team counts on them, they're ready to go. So just super proud of those guys. Caleb Harley, played a lot of snaps back there with AC in his knee going down. Shine was down a little bit, so Kempton's in there playing a lot more corner. So just super proud of those guys.
Coach, the D throughout the second, third, and fourth quarters, you were making some adjustments, or Coach Rudd was making some adjustments. Can you talk about some of those things? Because the pressure wasn't dominant by the Virginia front 4, but it was there, got some sacks. But somehow all of your defenders made adjustments, and it seemed like windows got smaller and smaller.
I just think overall the guys did a better job of just focusing on doing their job, to the level that we needed it to be done. I thought we had some uncharacteristic busts in the first quarter in particular that led to some big plays. I think overall the guys just their energy picked up, their focus picked up, and then they just started playing coordinated football. And we knew that you got to be careful rushing this quarterback, right? Because if you're too aggressive and you're up the field, he's gone. right? So you got to try and keep him in the pocket. And also, too, it was a lot of quick stuff, get it out of his hand, right, early on. So your pressure's not going to get there. But I thought they became a little bit more disruptive as the game went on from that standpoint. And then the guys on the back end, man, just started doing their job with precision. And that was the message at halftime, right? The effort alone is not going to get it done. Like, we got to be precise in what we're doing. So just overall, a couple of adjustments by Rudd and the staff, but more importantly, the guys made the adjustments and just started executing with more precision.
Let's go Jeff and then Peter. Yeah.
Slade was on the 89 team that was honored this weekend.
Yeah.
Did he say anything to the team or to the staff
Oh yeah.
about that team?
Not a ton, but he let it be known that he was a part of that team. He even asked me could he suit up and play. I don't know if y'all saw the little video. We had a little fun with the video, but he let it be known. One, what that team accomplished, and then two, what our record overall versus BC, had been over the years. Being 1-7 prior to the night. So he let it be known, and then he had a good time. Those guys were back in town, and they toured the facility, and hopefully they got to sign the wall. And I hate that the timing didn't work. I didn't get to see all of them, but I know Slade represented well with those guys. And man, it was an honor to be able to do the kind of the throwback-ish uniform to honor those guys, because again, man, I'm trying to build a complete program, and part of that is being connected. So you got to be connected to the past, right, with the present as we build towards the future. So just super proud of those guys were able to come back, be honored. Man, it was a team that was different, and we want to be different, right? And to be different, you have to do different, and then sometimes you got to hang around different folks, so that some of their magic rubs off on you.
Coach, Kendron Smith in and out of the lineup in the weeks leading up to this game. Today, big PBU, game-sealing interception. What did he show you in practice, not only to be out there so much today, but then also speak to his performance?
Yeah, just consistency in his performance in practice, and he's having to do a lot because he's a swing guy, so he's having to be ready to play corner. He's having to be ready to play, behind Corey out there to the field as our field safety. So he's having to do a lot, but he's just shown consistency in performance to earn the opportunity to be out there, and then he made big plays when he was out there. So just excited for him.
I got two quick ones for you, Coach. First off, you guys had a lot of long possessions, I'd say, through those first 3 quarters of play. Would you say that wore down the defense a lot, leading to more offensive success late?
The longer we keep the ball, the less that they have it, and so we were able to find some run game, which contributed to that. And again, anytime you have long possessions, man, it does put pressure on the defense, and if you're running it too. And so it helps us because again, we talk about getting stronger as the game goes on. The harder it is, the better we play. So it was awesome to see those guys, man, rise to the occasion and put together those long drives, and then help the defense. And then the flip side, defense is a little bit fresher. They're moving a little bit faster when they get on the field.
Absolutely. Just talk to me. How triumphant was this win for the team, for the kids, for the coaching staff? Because you guys were down for so long, and then to come away with so many good plays in a row defensively and offense. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I told them it was a team win because it took everybody, all 3 phases. I told them I felt like it was a culture win. I believe that BC, as a program historically, has a good culture, right? And that culture is built off of toughness, running the football. So I felt like it was a culture win. We had a chance to kind of show, what kind of toughness we have as a team. And then I felt like they just proved themselves right. And they're believing in each other. They're believing in themselves. And they're really starting to have it ingrained that it's the next play. Regardless of what happens the previous play, it's the next play. And the game's not over, right? And we believe that at any point, right, we can go make plays. And just they got confirmation today. And that's what I'm happy for those guys.
Jerry, you want to finish this off?
Just a few weeks ago, you guys were near the bottom of the FBS in forcing turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're probably near the top. But did you guys make a point of emphasis? Did you get more aggressive? Did you say anything to the team? What do you think?
Yeah,
maybe help?
So we just talk about it just in terms of the importance of ball security. And I think offensively, the guys have really started to say, you know what, we're going to protect the ball and we're going to protect the quarterback. That is our program. And then defensively, right, we want to take the ball away, right? The objective of defensive football is to not let them cross the goal line and take the ball away. And so we've done the same turnover circuits, that we have. I just think the guys have taken a little bit more ownership, over it. And then we did talk about, statistically, if you want to be a top 25 team, this is where you need to be. right? And it was after the Maryland game, actually, because Maryland, I think, was number 1 in the country or number 2 in the country. They had 9 turnovers, within the first 3 games, right? And that's why they, at that point, have won the games that they won. And so we did talk about it from that standpoint. I wouldn't say we put a bigger emphasis and change things in practice. I think the guys just have taken more ownership of it.
All right, thanks, everyone. We're good. Frank, go ahead.
And
Yeah, what
Andre
you got?
Green,
Yeah.
seems like this was a breakthrough weekend for him.
Yep.
Can you just speak to him? He's
Yeah, extremely talented, young man, and coming in this system, there's a lot of pro components. So there's a lot of detail in it, from splits to route conversions, right? We run a lot of the same concepts out of many different formations. So you got to see the big picture. You got to know the entire concept. And man, he put in the work, and he knew that Trail was going to be down for this week, and it was a great opportunity for him to step up. And talent's never been a question for him. It's just a matter of time, right? Because he's still learning, what we're doing, and I felt like it was great for him to have success, and hopefully that's just going to re-energize him to keep working.
Any update on Clary?
Clary, it's his. So he had an infection on his right knee, right, to start the game. It's his other knee. I don't know what the prognosis is. I know he tried. I think it happened maybe in the second quarter, and he tried to play through it. But I'll get an update for you guys on Tuesday with that. All right, appreciate it. Thank y'all. All right.
Yeah.